I'm a super easy to please Rick and Morty fan. I've seen every episode of Rick and Morty more times than I think is actually psychologically healthy. So when I say episode 4 of season 5 was really bad, that's saying a lot.
Stop this at once.
Princess Ponyetta!
You can't kill Rico. I love him.
Right, I love you too, Princess Ponyetta.
So not every episode is going to work for everyone. Obviously, everyone has their own favorite Rick and Morty episode. I just feel like this was a really lazy episode, and it wasn't because of the humor. Well, it was because of the humor, but not because it was childish humor or lowbrow humor, which I think is something that a lot of people were upset about, despite Rick and Morty having a lot of fart and ejaculation jokes.
1,000 is going to turn it into mush.
Relaxed enough?
I admire you, Rick.
I mean, come on. Handjob solo, loose slots, and all the different masturbation puns they made this episode. That was pretty funny. I thought those were clever. Also, 𝐵𝐴𝐴𝐿, you can wear your wife's underwear and still be a BAMF. Don't let anyone take that away from you. What I thought was really lazy and I didn't like, and I understand that given that I have a vagina, I'm not allowed to say this, I really felt like it was focused way too much on ha ha ha, misogyny, men are such sexist assholes.
It's a fine suggestion, but I doubt their leader will be a sexy queen that needs to be kickboxed. 100% male Marine, a Nobel Prize.
You became a woman today.
Should we be concerned about that scary bomb-laden one?
Honey, let the men handle this. I think we know a thing or two about it.
And I'm not saying that there aren't men out there that are absolutely sexist. There are. I've experienced it myself. But in my experience, the men that are sexist towards women are usually as equally awful to men. They're just awful humans in general. It's not really something geared towards women. It's just, they're shit humans. But this episode was just over the top, like non-stop. Men are so stupid. Men never listen to women. Oh, men are so misogynistic. And it just got so fucking old. If it was said in a clever way, cool. But this just was such a blanket, yeah, all men are like this. And it got super old, super fast, just like me. And I know every time I try to say this, there are two different opinions. One is I'm a woman hater, and then the other side is, oh, I'm just pandering because women can't be concerned about men. That's just, you know, unheard of to care about half of your own species. But it was just too much. Oh, today you became a woman, when they didn't listen to Summer's plan and instead pretended like it was their own. The Marines not listening, saying, hey, is this a problem? Being like, you're a woman, we're not gonna listen to you. Maybe I was just upset that we didn't get half-horsey Mortys and instead we got a half-horsey Rick. Maybe that's it. Or maybe it was the giant incest baby that I didn't like, which is very terrifying, and I wonder if we're ever going to deal with that again. Imagine the not giving a shitness of Summer mixed with the increasingly violence of Morty into one, which is also probably a bit genetically fucked up. Scary. However, the incest jokes didn't bother me too much. I mean, the incest baby was kind of gross, but it wasn't like, oh, that's what made this episode really bad. It just was a lazy episode. Except for the masturbation puns. Those were hilarious. I'm surprised Morty didn't tell Rick, knowing the ramifications for not doing so. Like, hey, I've been jacking off with this horse thing. Oops. Because Morty knows Rick does some questionable things with different components for science, and it was gonna blow up in his face. I just feel like it was really weird for Morty not to say anything. Also, I thought the entire time Rick actually knew and was waiting to the end to go, and this is why you don't fucking lie to me, Morty. I kind of think, and I've been thinking this more and more as the season goes on, I realize we're only into episode 4, that the Rick we're seeing isn't the real C-137 Rick. It's just he's way too affectionate towards Morty, way too caring. He hasn't been as much of an alcoholic as we've typically seen, although of course he has gotten into a lot of drugs and stuff. And also he hasn't been using his portal gun, which is very suspicious to me. I have a feeling the finale is going to show that the real Rick has been in space having adventures the entire time, and then maybe the first episode was actually Rick, and then maybe the orgy apocalypse was the real Rick, but for most of it, it was a decoy or clone Rick. Things are just not adding up to the Rick we're used to, and something has to be going on. I guess we'll see. Anyways, I really enjoyed seeing the president every time he's on. I love him and his animosity with Rick. They're going back and forth, though Rick was a lot more toned down this episode. He obviously doesn't want to start a whole thing again where he has to pretend to move to a different universe. I'm kind of wondering if they did plan to release this episode the same weekend that Black Widow came out for Beth's line, whatever Marvel shit is coming out that you kids are excited about, because I know it takes a lot for them to be able to plan this stuff, and I also know that Black Widow kept changing the release dates a lot, but if they actually planned it that way, hilarious. It is sad to see Jerry's true calling of delivering water to people, as we've seen in other episodes and in this episode again, and I feel like he's never going to truly be able to embrace his destiny, what he's supposed to do with his life, giving people in need water. That's sad. And Beth has a half-brother. How exciting for her, though I doubt we're ever going to see horsey Rick again. Or if we do, it'll be in some weird-ass after-credits scene. I did want to say, for anyone that is wanting to become a sperm specialist, don't listen to what they said in this episode. You will be in high demand. Studying sperm and all that is, you know, a growing field, especially with the fertility issues we're having and the decrease in sperm count and such. So if that's your dream career, don't let Rick and Morty detract you from that. Do it. Don't let your dreams be dreams. So yeah, this definitely was my least favorite episode. I didn't feel up to the normal standards of Rick and Morty as for the cleverness and plot. Again, I'm not saying lowbrow, dirty humor. They've always had that in Rick and Morty. That's not a surprise. They went for the lowest denominator stuff, and that felt like the entire episode. It's rare when it doesn't feel like they did anything clever with an episode, and it felt like they just didn't. But not every episode is going to be a hit. I'm looking forward to the next episode. I'm still enjoying this season. One episode isn't going to ruin the entire season for me. I'm just hoping that this is not a steady decline. But let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, and come back for more sci-fi fantasy videos.